began to share with the young people in this church, and then all of us, that even though we have earthly parents, God just has used us as vehicles to get us into this earthly realm. The realm that the spiritual realm, that to understand that we truly come from Him, and that our parents are just vehicles. In same way that God, the Son, Jesus Christ, had to be born, amen, through a human being. So Mary, even though Mary was his earthly mother, really she was just a vessel, a vehicle that God used to get his Son in this earth.
So I've got to have a compass. I've got to have a benchmark. I've got to have a foundation. And the foundation is not the law, because the law is passed. There is a better way introduced through the veil of Christ's flesh. So I'm going to be not a slave, but I want to become a son, because when I become a son, I have a foundation of knowing who I am.
Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. We are no longer orphans.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And because we're no longer orphans, then we no longer think like orphans.
That's right.
When orphans, because they are parentless, because they are fatherless, feel that they have to care for themselves.
Yeah, that's good.
So you depend on yourself and on your own abilities, because you feel there's no one else to care for you. Now, when you understand that you are a son, you're no longer trying to make things happen for yourself. You're not depending on yourself. Because you know that the Father, and just like the song says, He's a good Father. He has already provided. You know, as orphans, we had to exalt ourselves, because if we didn't, nobody else was. I had to, I promote my own self. I exalt myself. And that's what we do. We see a lot of that, and doing a lot of that today. We're promoting ourselves. God says that He's the one who promotes us. He's the one who exalts us in due time, in His season. He will. When we humble ourselves, He is the one who exalts us. And promotion comes from God. And we don't have to try to make things happen on ourselves. And orphans are always concerned about how we're going to live. How am I going to live? How am I going to take care of this? How am I going to do that? Orphans do not live by faith. They walk by sight. Everything is dependent on, their circumstances. Orphans' lives are up and down. Their emotions and everything is like a roller coaster. But when you are a son, when you are a true son, you don't carry around those cares. You're not concerned, because you know that your Father.
Yes, Lord Jesus.
Even when you know that you have a good Father, and He has already, not going to provide, has already made provision for whatever we are going through. Remember, He knows the end of everything. And a lot of times when we're in a trial and we're going through something, a lot of times we feel that this thing is going to take me out. That this thing is that I can't make it through this. Sometimes it feels so hard and like, this is over. But remember, God knows your end. And He would never have allowed you to go through it if He did not know that he was going to bring you out.
When I know who I am, I don't have to be conflicted.
Amen. That's right.
I know that I am a son, therefore I'm not conflicted. I didn't know that I was a son, therefore I was conflicted. Now, but where are we in our journey to get there? All of us are not all there yet. But at least know that you can get there. It's not an impossibility, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I only say that from the context that if any of us can do it, all of us can do it, because we were all made in the image and likeness of God. In God, there was a principle that was established before the tenets of the law became the edict of the time. That's how I have access into my sonship, is through faith, not through the law, because faith came before the law was established. The Bible declares, faith came as a result, actually it came as a result of Abraham's action, response to God, in obedience. Therefore, it was accounted to him as righteousness, which is the seed of faith, if you will. And out of Abraham's obedience, the seed of God, meaning the Messiah, would come. Through faith. Not through the law. Not through 430 edicts of you shall, thou shalt, thou shalt, thou shalt, thou shalt. And that's the way many of us operate in our life. We operate under the law. The do's and the don'ts. The Bible tells me that whom the Son sets free is free. Amen. Paul said all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. So the point is that when I understand that this is by faith, faith is what? Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Evidence. Evidence is a legal term defining the fact that I have something that I may not even know I have. There's something on the inside of you that you may not even know that you have, but when you put a demand on it, it'll rise up and it'll stand with you. Come on, somebody. There are times when you know that you are in a funk and you've got to do something to get out of it. You've got to stand in your faith and say, this shall not have authority over me because I'm a child of God. I will not fall to this sin. I will not fall to this